Listen to mirror, mirror, the reflection of the
So guys, yesterday we did a YouTube live and it was really fun hanging out with you guys and just catching up, seeing how you guys are doing. And we were talking about fear and you said that I should do a video on this. So I thought, you know, why not next day, just get it done straight out the way. I'm trying to like be better at recording full on videos for you guys. I've been so distracted when it comes to taking care of the team. You know, when you've got nearly like 70 trader babies to look after, it's so tough. It's so tough, but I love you all. I love you guys so much, and you know this. I'm literally obsessed with every single one of you. I've also been doing the Trade Creatives merch, so, oh, you can't even see. There's a whole load of merch back there. So if you haven't got your TC hoodie, if you have not got your TC t-shirt, put in the orders in the website because I am hand printing them all for you guys with your creative craft or your kind of motto of choice, whatever you want, on your hoodies and t-shirts. So it takes a lot of time. It literally takes me like half an hour to an hour to do one product. Yeah, so it's really is a labor of love. So if you want to have something personally done by me, feel free to do that. But I want to talk to you guys today about fear and having fear in the markets. And this is something that we are constantly negotiating as traders every single day, you know, and it doesn't really get any easier. Like, yes, you become more experienced. Yes, you become a bit more relaxed as a trader. But, you know, as your account size grows, those feelings never really totally go away. And it's about, you know, negotiating those feelings and having a plan in place so that when you are feeling emotional in the charts, if you are feeling emotional in the markets, what are you going to do to ensure that you maintain your trader's psychology? Okay. So first of all, I think there's a lot of fear in general when it comes into the Forex world, as in like from the outside looking into the world of Forex. Everybody is terrified because it looks super mathsy, okay? So if you are super stinking new and you don't know anything about Forex and you're just flat out terrified, don't go for the FEAR acronym, forget everything and run, okay? Because that is totally the wrong mentality. The best thing that you can do is get educated, do some research, spend 20 hours doing your Googles, doing your YouTubes, and finding out about this world and this space and, you know, who's engaging in these markets and, you know, maybe how it can actually benefit you in your future. So if you're feeling the fear as a complete newbie, don't even know what Forex is, and you're freaking out, don't worry. My best advice is to just do your research, speak to people who you know in your circles. I would always recommend speaking to people who you know. As much as we love doing YouTube research, I would really heavily recommend saying stay off of YouTube unless you're on my channel. Then we can hang out. But if you know anybody in your circles, maybe a friend of a friend, you know, reach out to that person, get your friend to connect you and say, hey, I'm looking into this space. Are we able to have a quick chat with a cup of tea? That would be really helpful just to ask some questions. It's really important to get some firsthand experience, some firsthand knowledge from somebody who is doing it. It's going to make you feel a lot more safe as well. And then it comes to, you know, when you actually start your trading journey and you're feeling the fear, you know, you're on demo, but you're too fearful to actually go into your live account. You need to unpack those reasons as to why. Or maybe that you have gone onto your live account and you are starting on a small account size and you're fearful pressing the go button. You're too scared to press buy or sell. And that's because you're worried about having a loss. You're fearful of losses. Now, guys, we should never be fearful of losses. Stop losses are hella important. We like to say the stop loss is your mom. Your mom is always there to support you. Right? Even when you fuck up, your stop loss will protect you. If you don't have a stop loss, you have no protection. You've got no one fighting your corner, you know? And if you've got a 1 to 500 leverage with your broker, then you've got really no protection, no one's supporting you, right? So we love a stop loss. I love when a stop loss gets hit because I look at it in the exact same way as I have a TP, if I have a take profit. Right? If I have a stop loss hit, great. What's the next trade? If I have a TP hit, great. What's the next trade? I don't celebrate or mourn either or. We keep it moving. And that's going to be a really important part of your trader psychology. Becoming a trading robot is going to be the best thing that you can do to ensure a long and healthy career in the Forex industry. Okay? If you're feeling fearful before entering a trade and you realize it's because you're too scared to have a £2 loss, guys, and you should not be risking any more than 2%. Really? I know some people say like 3% or 5%. Don't do 5%, you know, unless you're sticking it in an over leveraging account. Like do that, do whatever you want in your over leveraging account. That's what it's there for. That's literally like money to the wind, you know? But that's if you're, you know, privileged enough to be able to do that, okay? So if you're not, but you're scared of having like a £2 loss or a $2 loss, there's some work that you need to do in terms of your relationship with money, okay? If you are scared of losing £2, then you are too emotionally tied to that money, and you have to mitigate that. You have to unpack that and, you know, have a plan in place to ensure that you can release yourself or liberate yourself from that feeling of being kind of like a prisoner to money. And it's totally understandable, because we are conditioned to be that way. We are conditioned to be, you know, really great at working at a desk when we're at school, being quiet, saying yes and no, doing what we're told, so that we can leave school, work at a desk for somebody else, be quiet, say yes or no, do as we're told, in order to pay taxes so that the government can live off of our taxes. Because if there are no taxpayers, there's no functioning governments, there's no functioning like banks, whatever. So we are conditioned to be fearful of money and investing and opportunity, okay? So just also knowing that, I think, is really important. Talk to your mentor. Have trading friends, have trading buddies. If you don't have any trading buddies, I will be your trading buddy. Or we've got a whole group of people who follow Jessica's trading journal who are open to being trading buddies. You guys actually forced me to open a Discord yesterday, so we now have a whole Discord that I don't know how to use. But what I'm doing today is I'm going to do lots of research to try and understand how Discord works and make it a really fun space for you guys to hang out. We can do like voice chats and things like that. Kind of like our own clubhouse. It is the Trading Journal clubhouse. So if you don't have a trading buddy to talk to or consult with, or, you know, just like offload some of your feelings and your emotions, you know, there are going to be people out there who can support you. So if you're feeling kind of lonely, reach out, because it's always nice to at least say hey, okay? Journaling. Journal everything. Journaling is the most underrated thing. Pen to paper. I have paper around me everywhere. I've got my trading journal here. I've got my life journal here, kind of like my diary and journal. I do everything all in one. Journal as much as you can. It will change your life, and it will help you to become a more self-aware human being, which means that you can function well on the charts as well. Whatever emotion you're feeling off the charts, you will bring that energy onto the charts. So just remember that, okay? Like, you are in total control of your feelings and your emotions. You are in control of your emotions, and you will bring your energy onto the chart. So if you know that you are a fearful person off the charts, then you're going to be bringing that fear onto the charts. And I used to be a very fearful person before 2019. It was my New Year's resolution that year to be more Gryffindor. So I actually had to force myself to be just a bit more brave and to be more of a risk taker. And, you know, it was in that year I bought my property. It was in that year I started trading. And it was in that year that I negotiated my trader's psychology, I guess, and became less fearful. But I suppose then another aspect of fear that we're talking about again is like people around you maybe not necessarily understanding your journey or why you are looking at Forex trading as a form of investment for yourself and your future. You know, I think it's really, really important to note, you know, I love screaming and singing from the rooftops about this world because it is life-changing. It's changed my life. It's changing the lives of people around me, the people in my team. I've seen single mums with 6 children, you know, become funded purely through trading gold in a really sophisticated and safe way. It changes lives. However, it's so funny because I think when it comes to thinking about what are you actually scared of when it comes to people's perceptions of you, I used to think that I cared what my family think. I actually don't care what my family think anymore, but in like a really great way, as in like my family are very supportive, but also there's always questions, there's always concerns, and you just have to be like, you know what? I'm really clear on my path right now. So thank you for being concerned. And I'm going to continue focusing on this path, you know, lead with empathy, always, always, always. Maybe not necessarily that your friends understand the journey that you're going on, you know, and it's hard because not everybody has the investor mindset. Not everybody does. And, you know, you have to be okay with that. We have to be okay with that. And people may think that you are doing something crazy. People may think that you are going to fail, and you don't know. Some people may be expecting you to fail and waiting for that to happen. And you also have to understand that that's okay, and that is part of the process, because you are so clear on your path that nobody can shake you. Nobody can instill fear in you, because you have so much clarity on your journey and your vision and your why and your process as well. You're not just dipping in and out of these markets willy-nilly hoping for some profits. If you are doing that, you need to stop that right now and come and talk to me so we can actually get you focused with your strategy. But I'm talking to you guys as if you are part of my team, okay? I want to respect you guys and your journeys as much as possible. So, I'm speaking to you guys as if you were part of the Trade Creatives team. You have so much clarity on why you're engaging in these markets, how you are entering, how you are exiting. Everything is set in stone for you. So you have no reason to feel fearful. You have no reason to feel discombobulated when somebody poses a question at you, when somebody says Forex is a scam, and you're just like, you're freaking out and you're becoming defensive, and it's because whap, 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 like red flags going off in your mind. Your friend thinks you're a scam. And that's just, not true. And what you have to do is, instead of feeling the fear and becoming defensive and doing the TikTok audio meme that's like, yeah, you see what it is? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, we don't need to do that. Lead with empathy always. If somebody says something to you that kind of poo-poos on your Forex trading journey, don't feel the fear, because you have to remember that fear is also an acronym for false evidence appearing real. People who do not have the information create false realities or false expectations appearing real. Okay, so if they don't have all of the information that you have, how can they possibly formulate an opinion on your journey? I like to say that people who have no knowledge about the Forex industry are not qualified to their opinion, and are not qualified to their opinion of your journey in particular. So know that. But also, when you're having that conversation, which can be difficult, you're very passionate about this. I'm incredibly passionate about Forex trading. So when somebody does come with rebuttal, it does feel quite uncomfortable. So what you want to do is, don't feel fearful that somebody's judging you. Breathe. And first of all, breathe and smile. Breathe and smile. Slow down and lead with empathy and kindness. And like I say all the time, with all the love and hugs, and be like, you know what? I totally empathize with you. Like, just lead with empathy, right? Like, I totally understand. Like I always say, I don't blame people for thinking this way. I don't blame you for thinking that way. I don't blame you for that opinion, because the Forex world has had a pretty gnarly reputation for the past few years, right? But you've got to remember, Bitcoin used to have a terrible reputation because people used to use it to buy drugs. Uber had a terrible reputation. It was like destroying work for cab drivers all around the world. People were getting raped in Uber cabs and all this sort of stuff. Online dating was for pedos and perverts. Everything has a terrible reputation, but then those things end up kind of sticking, right? So the work that we're doing right now, I think, as an international Forex community, is kind of changing the face of Forex and making people realize that actually it's totally acceptable. It's totally accessible. It's totally affordable. 3 A's. Wow, this sounds like a sales pitch. I'm just so good with my words, guys. I can't help it. All this talent right here. But I hope it's coming across in the way that you can express to somebody who maybe isn't in the know actually what this world is. And also that you just, you don't blame them for their opinions. And I think that's the nicest thing, to not engage in a conversation that can be confrontational about the Forex markets or whether you're not or in a scam, right? Just keep the answers short and sweet. You know what? I don't blame you for thinking this way. Forex has had a pretty bad reputation, but things are changing and you're really enjoying your journey. That's all you really need to say. People will respect you a lot more for that. But I think, like, in terms of fear, like, one of my biggest fears, it's so funny because we were talking about this on a Zoom call yesterday, and we were talking about fear. And it's so funny to me because I don't really have very many fears as a person. I've worked really, really hard to kind of negotiate my fears and the things that are getting in my way. And one of the biggest fears that I have is like so dumb. It's so dumb. It's like the girls at school who I wasn't even friends with, who didn't even know me, probably didn't care that I even existed, them talking about me. That feels fear in my heart, but I don't know why. And I'm currently having to negotiate that. But I think it's because I'm very aware that I'm very open with my trading journey, and I'm very aware that people are watching. People do pay attention. Everyone's nosy. Everyone wants to know what everyone's doing. So you're going to have fears, and as you grow as a trader, you are going to change. Your lifestyle is going to change. You're going to be able to afford more things. You're going to be able to go on holidays more. You're going to be able to provide opportunities for others and, provide support for your families. People are going to start noticing. People are also going to talk about you. And you just have to know that comes part and parcel with success. And I think although it's something that can instill fear in us, we do have to kind of lean into it with acceptance, And we've got to remember that comments from when you were young stick with you for life. I'm sure there's that person or those people back at school that said things to you that you still carry around with you. I was very lucky actually to be in a situation where I never really got like bullied at school. But you know, comments from people, teachers, parents, friends, even if like throwaway comments, they stick with you. And I think it's important to remember that you are not those things. You are not that version of you that lives in somebody's mind. You are you. You are the actions that you put into place. You are your potential as well. So it's just about choosing to overcome those thoughts and feelings and choosing to rise above those things. Yeah, so I think I suppose that's fear in terms of people. Fear in terms of people. And then I suppose another thing is fear of losses. We should never be fearing losses, guys. I kind of said this earlier. We should never be fearful. I suppose what I was talking about earlier was being fearful of entering into the markets. We should never be fearful of losses. And maybe you've been hurt by a loss. Maybe you over leveraged. Maybe you didn't set a stop loss. Maybe you've blown an account, right? You need to get back on that horse. When a baby falls over, when it's learning how to walk, we don't throw the baby away and say, this baby's a scam. This baby doesn't work. This isn't the baby I ordered. How can I return this, right? We don't do that. We nurture and we allow the baby to fail forward and to continue falling until it's able to walk. And then maybe she decides that she wants to run, but she can't run yet because she only just learned how to walk. So she falls over and she falls over and then she learns how to run. And then one day she decides that she wants to dance and she falls over and she falls over and then she's able to dance, right? So you're not able to dance yet because you're just learning how to walk. It's those things. You are the baby. And if you're brand new in your trading journey, you're still learning how to walk. And then soon you're going to be able to run. I'm still in running phase right now as a trader. I'm 2 years into my trading journey, which is insane. And I'm still very self-aware and very patient and very happy knowing that I am still only in running phase. I like to think of like the Forex journey like uni, right? People want to come in and be a master in 1 month. You are not qualified to be a professional trader after 1 month of kind of learning off of YouTube. It's not how trading works. Or 1 month doing a course, not how trading works. You have to think of this like university. To be a lawyer, you have to train for 7 years to even be able to apply for a job, right? So put that into perspective. So if we think about, uni here in the UK is 3 years. So I like to say to myself, I'm only in 2nd year of uni. I'm not even in 3rd year yet. We've got some of my OGs in trade creatives. They're only just graduated 1st year. So they're coming into 2nd year. I'm graduating 2nd year. So I'm going into 3rd year, dissertation year, right? And I'm probably going to do a master's on top of that. Do you know what I mean? So even though I'm seeing my version of success right now, life is great, I'm very happy, but I'm focused on what year 4 is going to look like. I'm focused on what year 7 is going to look like. Lawyer stage, right? Professional trader stage. Not that I would ever become a full-time trader, but you know what I mean. So know that if you're feeling hurt from a loss right now, that feeling is only temporary because as your account size grows, as you compound and as you end up getting bigger wins, you're not going to think about that £2 loss from 2019. You're not going to think about that £20 loss from August 2020. You're just not. You're just not. Having said that, my 2 biggest losses I do still think about from time to time. But that's because they were big learning curves, massive, and they're really important. We cannot learn unless you have those lessons. Losses are not losses, they are lessons, right? I've only ever had 2 big losses. I've never blown an account. And also, those losses are still relative to my account size. So bear that in mind as well. And remember, everyone's desperate for like £100,000 account. But remember, that 1% loss of a £100,000 account is £1,000 loss. Are you emotionally ready to see a £1,000 loss? I don't think so. You have to build up to that stage yet. I'm not even there yet. I don't have a £100,000 account. So there's no way I could look at a £1,000 loss and be like emotionally okay as a functioning human being. We have to build up to that. Does that kind of make sense? A £100 loss, that's fine. But it's because I've done the work to build up that resilience, to build up that emotional resilience as a trader. And that's what's going to ensure my consistency. So fear is freaking important, okay? I need to make a new acronym. Freaking empowering, awesome reality. Fear. I think we just did a thing there. They're important for growth. Fear is necessary. Fear protects you. Like your stop loss, your fear is your stop loss. However, you need to feel the fear and do it anyway. Fail forward. We feel fear, forward, because if you feel fear and stay suppressed by that fear, you're never going to shift your paradigm. You're never going to break out of that emotional boundary. You're never going to break out of that level. You got to think of this like Super Mario Bros. Are you going to level up, or are you going to stay on level 1? So guys, that's kind of it for today. I need to get ready to go. We've had some DeLoreans through, so I'm going to see if I can take one more trade of the day. Caught a nice move today on gold. Let's see how, because I've actually pulled my profits on that. Like, that gets to a point you just don't need to make any more. Oh, I got out at a perfect time, guys. This is why we love the TDI. For anybody who's in Delo Nation, just drop some love in the comments section if you know what I mean by the TDI. You guys aren't going to know if you are not an IM or part of Delo Nation. But guys, it is the 18th of June. I took that 15-minute DeLorean on XAU USD and I rode it up until the VBC. I took a VBC exit. I don't usually do a VBC. I usually do a KC. So, but I quite enjoy doing the VBCs, especially for gold, because, you know, she pays. Gold pays, okay? You just got to know how to trade it safely, guys. You should never have fear when it comes to hitting the button. You should have your checkpoints for entry. What are your steps? You should have zero qualms, zero umming and ahhing about entering into the market. You should be like, does it hit my steps? Yes. Hit the button, okay? And then your checkpoints throughout the trade. Do you have checkpoints throughout the journey of that trade so that you know every 15 minutes or every 1 hour, whatever your time frame is, you can be like, no, I'm good, I can stay in this trade. And then what is your exit strategy? Everyone is so focused on what their entrance is. No one's talking about the exit. Exit strategy has changed my trading game. And I thank IM and Delo Nation and Tyrone and PK for their support to help me to become the trader that I am today. We are sophisticated traders. We are snipers in this market. And it, you know, guys, patience pays. Patience pays. Education frickin' pays. So, yeah, that's it. I'm done. Waffle over. I need to go and have something shoved up my nose. So good to see you guys. Thanks for hanging out. Make sure you hit subscribe if you haven't already. Follow me over on Insta. I hang out there a lot. So if you have questions, like, I check out the comments here as well. I try to reply to every single one. But on Insta, I hang out there all day, every day. So do check me out on there. At Trade Creatives, we have a podcast. Hang out with our podcast. We've also now got a Discord. Kinda. I'm figuring it out, but I will put the link in there so you can kind of click it and see what happens. I don't even know what's going to happen. But anyway, cheers everybody. Have a lovely Friday. Stay safe out there on those charts, and I'll see you real soon.